Welcome to another episode of rawradianthealth.com, and I'm Natasha St. Michael, and thank you so much for joining me. So it's Tuesday, and today I'm going to talk about how to deal with PMS and the PMS cravings. I know that there's a lot of women out there that 2 weeks before their period, everything that they worked for in their diet is thrown out the window, and either they're craving crazy amount of sugar and carbs and sort of bready junk food, or they're craving deep fried or, fat rich salty food. Okay, it's either one or the other. It's either the sugars or it's the fatty, oily, salty food. Okay, and this is quite common. This is quite normal, so it's all right. But everyone does go through their cravings before a period, and that's completely natural, because your hormones are fluctuating. And also too is that when you're going through your period, you're actually losing some minerals, okay? So, and you're detoxifying as well. So it is completely normal and natural to have an increased appetite. And in fact, when you ovulate and when you get your period, your body temperature actually rises a little bit, and you actually burn more calories. So that's how your body kind of compensates for the calorie burn, is to make you crave a little bit more food. Okay, so that's another reason why we see ourselves eating a little bit more than normal at these times of the month. Now, one thing to consider as well is that you see too that you have these crazy, like a crazy appetite for, and that can go on for, a few days or even over a week. But then you also see too that while you have your period, a lot of times the appetite drops. Okay, so I know a lot of times there's so many women out there that are so frustrated with, sort of the swing, the up and down throughout the month. Like it's like a lot of times it feels like a 2 week window period where you feel like you're in the clear, everything's all right, you can stay on your diet. And then those 2 weeks before your period, it's just like, it's like a whole other person comes out. And yes, I've been there myself, but I have to say that there's a lot of things you can do, and it's about what you do for those 2 weeks before your period, or the 2 weeks before the PMS starts, okay? That will contribute a lot to how easily you get through those 2 weeks of PMS and having your period, okay? And one thing I want to first point out is that the worse the PMS symptoms are, it's usually an indication of toxicity in your body, okay? And we all have toxicity, but some of us have a little bit more than others, okay? And that comes from, eating junk foods, and it comes from, maybe, just not having a balanced diet. It also just comes from, might be your digestive system, or having a compromised immune system. Whatever it is a lot of it is an indication as to how healthy you are or how much you need to improve, okay? So it's a warning sign, and the cool thing is that a lot of women have said that once they got into a raw food diet, their period would get better and better and better, and that a lot of their PMS symptoms would actually go away, or it would decrease dramatically, okay? And I can honestly say that for myself as well, that I've seen that change, but I've also seen too that certain things that are important to watch out for before the PMS starts, and those things is to really make sure that you're eating a balanced diet, okay? The reason why people crave a lot of fats and oils before their period is because fats and oils are actually precursors to hormones. They actually help your body produce hormones. They're an ingredient for your body to make certain hormones. So if you are on an extremely low-fat diet, a lot of times right before your period, you're going to be craving some serious fats, because your body needs it in order to create the right hormones to find a balance. Okay, so what you can do so that you're not going from one extreme to the other is to make sure that in your daily life you are incorporating healthy fats. And when I talk about healthy fats, I'm talking about fats that are like food sources that have fats in it that are not cooked. Okay, so I'm talking about like seeds and nuts and avocados, coconut, those kind of foods, okay? And foods that are rich in essential fatty acids, which are like chia seeds and flax seeds, hemp seeds. I mean, those are fantastic. Plus also pumpkin seeds and sunflower seeds, avocado, coconut, all of that. Coconut is known to be a precursor to progesterone. Okay, so, and it's not that you go overboard with the fats, but not to completely eliminate them from your diet, because you'll see that, you're able to keep it pretty low for a few weeks, and then right before the period, it's like you can't even control yourself. That why not feed yourself a little bit here and there so that you're preparing yourself for your period, that you have the reserves in your body. And I think that's what I really want to emphasize, is that it's what you do around that week or two before your period that is going to help the PMS. Okay, it's not what you're doing while you're going through the PMS, because you're in the middle of it, but it's what you do to prepare before it. And that means having a well-balanced diet. And it's having these raw fats, not cooking these fats, but having them in their raw state. Okay, super important. Another thing too is that when we're having our period, we're losing a lot of our mineral reserves. Okay, so it's really important to be eating a well-balanced diet, having a ton of leafy greens. Okay, every day everyone should be having 1 to 2 pounds of greens a day. I say 2 pounds of greens a day is the goal. Start off by 1, which is like 1 bunch of lettuce, move up to 2. Have in your green smoothies and your green juices and your salads, in everything. Throw the greens in everything. Okay, because that is what's going to give you the minerals, as well as sea vegetables. Okay, and sea vegetables are great because they're full of minerals like nori and dulse and kelp and all of that. But not only do they have just a great mineral spectrum, but they also have natural sodium. Okay, and the thing is that a lot of times women that are going through PMS also deal with a lot of water retention and all sorts of, like a little bit weight gain from it and feeling bloated. And you really want to be, first of all, taking out all table salt out of your diet. Like that stuff's just bad. It's nasty, okay? And you want to keep sodium to the minimum. But you do need a little bit of sodium for your bones, okay? And also to move things through your body. And healthy sources of that is from even your greens and celery, things like that, tons of natural sodium, but also you can get it too from your sea vegetables, okay? Once you rinse it, okay? You want to make sure if you're buying the sea vegetable in its whole form, you rinse it first before eating it, okay? Because it's like coated with sea salt, and you don't want that much salt. But that, just by eliminating table salt, can really, really help with dealing with the bloating and all that. And just, keeping your eye open, not much salt, because that's what's going to make you feel worse. So one thing I do suggest with a lot of clients that have PMS issues is to really, it's preparing beforehand, making sure to have a balanced diet, making sure that, you're getting adequate calories, you're exercising every day, super important, but also knowing when you're getting your period. If you know beforehand and you are able to look at a calendar and be like, okay, I'm going to get my period at this day, then when you're in the middle of the PMS, you know it's PMS. Rather than after, when you get your period and you're like, oh, okay, that's why I was totally out of control, was because I was getting my period. It's always after the fact. Whereas if you're prepared beforehand, you're like, okay, next week the PMS is starting, so this week I got to get on the green juices, the green smoothies, cut the salt out, no junk food, and eat some good, chia seeds and some flax seeds and hemp seeds, and just balance out, you'll be way ahead of the game, okay? So those are my suggestions, and I'm wishing you guys the most fabulous, fabulous day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.